Hello and welcome back to my greenhouse. It is quite cold outside. The greenhouse is so much warmer. Currently we're over 90 degrees in here, just under 100. And it doesn't feel that warm, but it's so much warmer than outside. And the plants have been surviving and thriving, and we'll talk more about what's going on here inside the greenhouse in an upcoming video. But today I just wanted to say where I've been for the last few weeks since the last video of 2024, and hopefully some of the things to look forward to this year in 2025. So first, what have I been doing since we've been apart? Well, I built a new gate for the far side of the rose garden, and there's still work to be done on that, and I need to paint it. But I've got the basic structure put together, so I got that done almost. Got to wait for warmer days to paint it and do a few other things to it, but hopefully I'll be hanging that before the springtime comes. Continued the brick edging that I had done alongside the driveway, in front of the house, and now it's on the other side of my front deck. I did all of that, and it sort of just completes that space. So now I have the same type of brick edging where, you know, you just lay the one brick down, another brick standing up behind it. Nothing super fancy, but it helps define the flower beds better. Hopefully it'll keep the weeds and grass from growing into the flower beds. I still have a lot of cleanup and work to do on those beds, and I will be talking more about that in a future video. I also started putting into place the concrete edging that I was making last year in front of the vegetable garden, and it's so far so good. Everything, the pieces look nice in my opinion, and they went in pretty easily into the space, which is nice. It also allowed me to get in there, do a little bit of weeding. I still have a lot more weeding to do, and of course I have to do further edging to complete the space. But that'll have to wait till the spring when I can make more concrete pieces to finish doing that. And if you guys haven't seen any of my concrete videos or me talking about making the edging pieces, there's a playlist you guys can go back and watch, and I'll probably also be doing a future video of it in the springtime when I start producing new pieces, just to bring everybody sort of up to date. And there's also a few of the pieces I don't think I've shown you guys before that I want to show you that I'm going to be using elsewhere in the garden. And again, I'll talk more about that when the time comes. And then I covered up the newest section of the flower garden border that I did last year. I didn't put down enough cardboard, compost, and mulch to suppress all of the weeds, and weeds and grass started growing in that space. So I just thought, I have some black weed fabric, I'm just going to cover up that space at least until springtime. It'll roast, cook the weeds beneath it because it is obviously black absorbs heat, which is wonderful, and obviously everything will be deprived of sunlight, so it'll knock all that stuff back. And then hopefully in the springtime I can pull back the fabric and start to further develop the space and maybe even start planting into it. And then I've been working on my website, growinggreenfinger.com. If you haven't been there, go check it out. It's still, I'm making changes to it currently, and one of the probably the biggest change, the two biggest changes I've made is I've added a lot of information on my resources page. I've added a bunch of YouTube channels in there, stores, books, things like that. So if you're new to gardening, go check that out. If you're a seasoned gardener, go check it out as well, because maybe there's something that I missed. Maybe there's a store that you guys all particularly like to shop at that you think would be a great fit for that page. Or again, a YouTube channel or a book or something along those lines. So go check that out. I'm also in the process of developing a new garden map. I had a garden map up there, wasn't particularly happy, and there's been a lot of changes to the garden, and future plans for the garden have changed since I last put that map up. So I'm putting up a new map, and this way you guys can look at it, and as I talk about this space or that space or some other space here in the garden, you guys can, you'll have an idea as to where I am in the entire space, because the whole space, the whole garden space now is about 2 acres. I think it's 1.8 something, 5.7, something like that. Let's just call it 2 acres, round it up. I don't actually garden in all 2 acres, but again, if you go look at that map, you can see how everything is laid out. You'll have a better understanding of what I'm doing here. So now we're into the 2025 season, and of course, many of you, just like me, are going to be starting your seeds Maybe soon, depends upon where you live. If you're in a much colder climate, you'll probably wait until February to start your seeds. Here in Eastern North Carolina, growing zone 8B, I can start my seeds end of January because my last frost is going to be allegedly April 5th. We'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. But I can start some of my 12 and 14 week seeds at the end of this month, which I'll be doing, and I'll bring you guys along for that beforehand because I'm going to show you all the seeds that I purchased because I've already purchased all my seeds for the year, and I'm going to show you how I store my seeds and sort them and all that good stuff. So there's that coming up. There's also some there's one more big project I want to try to get done this winter, and I don't know if I'm actually going to get it done, but I'm going to try to get done. That's a new walkway here for the vegetable garden, and it's just going to go from the driveway side right on through over to the vegetable garden side. Again, I don't know if I'm going to get the project done or not, but you'll have to tune in, wait and see. There's also my pie in the sky. I don't know if I'm going to get it done this year, but we'll have to wait and see. Pipe dream of building a potting shed, and of course, that'll be a whole series of videos and a playlist as well because I won't be able to build it overnight, but I want to try to get a potting shed built this year. I'm also thinking about doing 2 other projects, both of which are going to be kind of unique. One of them is I want to build a wood arbor out in the rose garden. I'll explain more about that in detail if and when I get to that project and what I plan on doing with that so far as what I'll have growing on that or what I'd like to hope to have growing on that. And then the other project, which is really weird, and I think I've hinted at it recently on my YouTube community page. If you don't follow me on my YouTube community page, go check that out. You don't have to check it out daily because I don't post there daily, but I try to post there maybe 3 to 4 times a week, showing you something behind the scenes, doing a poll, a quiz, those kind of things. And the few of you that do follow me or check that out occasionally seem to enjoy that, so thank you very much. If you guys have any suggestions, something else you'd like to see on the YouTube community page, let me know in the comments. And as always, if you're new to the channel, I appreciate comments. I'm a novice gardener. I've only been gardening now. Wow, we're actually going to be closing out on 7 years, I think, which sounds like a long time, but in so far as the scope of all the things to learn in gardening and everything that goes around it, I'm still in my training wheels, as it were. So, so if you have any useful hints or tips or things like that, please leave them below. The other project, though, that unique project, I should say, that I'm going to maybe try to get done this year. We'll have to wait and see, but it's something that's on my short list. Is I want to build a wooden wheelbarrow. Yeah, you heard me right. And now, first thing many of you are thinking of is something that you put plants in, right? You probably have seen them on the side of the road or in somebody's garden. You get these short little old-looking wooden wheelbarrows that people plant stuff in. I want to actually build a wooden functional wheelbarrow. I've been doing a lot of reading in Victorian gardens or older style gardens recently, and I watched an old BBC series, I believe it was, called The Victorian Flower Garden. And then I actually watched a video on somebody who built himself a wooden wheelbarrow. And there's just something about it, I don't know. Maybe it's the whole DIY thing. Maybe it's the customization, maybe it's a lot of different things, but I think that's something I really want to do is I'm not going to replace my regular wheelbarrow. This is going to be, if I do build it and it seems to hold together, it's going to be sort of a light duty wheelbarrow for me, but it's just something I think that'll be fun to do. That's going to be my short list. I don't know if that's going to get done this winter or maybe in the spring or worst case scenario, the summertime. But I think I'd like to try something like that. And then, of course, there'll be the development of the garden this year. I want to try to open up a new section of the rose garden and then hopefully start developing that this year. I want to try to fill out more of the flower garden and the front beds with yet more plants, and some of that will be started, a lot of that will be started from seeds this year. This way the areas look more flush, more complete. These are my thoughts. And of course, I'll be hopefully starting and developing the grass borders this year, the grass borders garden, and I'll talk more about that in detail when I start that project, and also the topiary garden. And again, I'll talk more about that when I get to that project. So So there's a lot of things that I have in my brain that I want to try to get done for 2025. So if you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe, click that bell icon to be notified when I do post a new video. This way you can follow along as to what it is I'm doing, wherever it is I am in the garden. If you guys have any interesting projects or things that you're going to be doing, let me know below in the comments. Let all of us know. I'd be interested to hear what you guys are doing in your gardens. And then of course, as always, Sophie will be wandering around in the garden, supervising me. Yes, I know, I'm slacking. I need to get more done. Supervising me and staying on top of all the projects. So there's that to look forward to. Thank you to all the new subscribers. If you haven't told your friends, families, loved ones, or grumpy old guy across the street about this channel, please do so. Hopefully we can grow the channel to maybe 2,000 subscribers this year. That'd be pretty exciting for me. I'm a small channel, but I'm growing slowly. Hopefully we can reach that milestone as well this year. Thank you to all the people who continue to follow me. And as always, I'm going to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.